Some people do speed runs, any percent runs, or no-hit runs in a game to challenge themselves. Have you ever wondered how a no-hit run would work in a board game? Well, that's One Hit Heroes. This is the newest game by Wiggles 3D, the creators of 5 Minute Dungeon. One Hit Heroes has you play one of 3 episodes included in the box. Each episode includes 4 bosses, and if you defeat them all, you win the episode. The biggest catch is that your hero can be defeated in one hit, so you must be extra careful or else you'll have to restart the boss. The base game focuses on chasing rumors about a strange metal called infinium. Having an amplifying effect, the material could be catastrophic in the wrong hands. Again, the enemies are so deadly, they'll defeat you in one hit, so you need to use every tool you can get to stay alive. To make matters worse, each fight only gets more difficult than the last. Thankfully, after each fight, you'll power up with new cards to add it to your deck to get stronger and stronger. So, choose your hero, pick an episode, then defeat the bosses for victory. Just don't get hit. First off, we'll go over the contents of the game. The base game comes with 6 hero decks, included with 1 hero card and 11 starter cards. Also comes with 4 player mats. Here, you're going to place your hero, your items, here's your energy slider, and your spots for your aggro tokens, which we'll go over all that in a little bit. Also, I would recommend, it has this little plastic cover thing here. You could take it off if you want to, I guess, but I would recommend leaving it on because it has little slots here that you can easily just stick your little tokens into, and it's nice little for the helps for the energy slider and little spaces for your hero and your item cards and stuff. Comes with 4 of these energy sliders that go on your hero board. Comes with 1 hero die that is used to roll to do extra damage to the boss, and 1 attack die, which is what you will roll to determine who the boss will actually attack. So it comes with 3 episode boxes, each being self-contained adventures, because there's actually, like here on the back, there's like a little description kind of breakdown of what like the little story is. Each episode includes boss mats, a boss deck, card packs, which are unopened, they're pretty cool, and a bunch of other goodies. You keep track of the boss's health with these heavy damage and then light damage. You get 35 of each. So that'll be how you keep track of the boss's health, and then also they go in your aggro bar, and we'll go over all that in a little bit. There'll be 2 types of setup, a hero and boss setup. If this is your first time playing the game, we recommend peeking at the cards to get a general idea of what your hero can do. Hero cards have explanations on the back, basic gameplay, play style, and then synergies, literally like tells you like what they, what they're good paired with. So you can try out different combos and see exactly what you think goes good together. First, you'll place the player mat in front of you. For the sake of this video, we will call this area the play area. The rulebook says the play area can be anywhere convenient that you'd like. Just don't play cards directly into your discard or burn piles on the left and right of the mat. Those cards move to their respective designations at the end of your turn. Here is your energy tracker. Whenever you gain, spend, or lose energy, you'll adjust this slider here to keep track of it. You'll start the game with the energy slider so that all 3 energies are visible. Whenever you deal damage, take the matching amount of tokens from that boss and place them into your aggro bar. The more sections of your aggro bar are covered, the more likely you are to get hit by an attack. You'll take 3 tokens, which can be either light or heavy tokens. It doesn't really matter. You'll place these in the first 3 hexagon-shaped slots on your mat. Afterwards, you'll pick a hero, take all of the related cards, and place your hero here in the hero slot. If by chance you're continuing an episode, you'll keep the same hero. Each fight starts off with 2 items in play, which will go here. Items you play go directly into these slots. So you'll have to find the 2 cards with this item symbol and place them in your item slots. After finding more items, you'll be able to choose which 2 you can start with before the rest go into your deck. With your starting items, you'll then shuffle the rest of your cards and place them near you to form your draw pile. Draw piles have no dedicated spot on the map. You're more than welcome to have the draw pile anywhere within reach, because how else are you going to draw if you can't reach? Finally, you'll see a discard pile to the left of your mat and a burn pile to the right of your mat. Cards you play with this symbol will go to the discard pile at the end of your turn. Cards with this symbol will go to the burn pile at the end of your turn. Burn cards are basically once per fight effects, so after using them, they cannot be used again for the rest of the fight. To finish the hero setup, make sure each player draws 5 cards from their respective draw piles before choosing which player goes first. If you choose the hero Sophia, take the hero die and put it somewhere near you. If you're playing in the game's solo mode, you'll need to set up another hero mat. Pick another hero and alternate which hero and player mat you use each turn. Boss setup. Normally you'll pick one of the 3 episodes that's included with the base game to start with. But if it's your first time playing, I would advise using the first episode, this one right here. So you'll take the tray out, and then you'll want to take out the boss mat labeled Boss 1, which is this guy right here, Punchbot, It says right there, boss 1. Just like the hero cards, on the back it has little instructions on basically how to run the boss, because they'll have different things they do that's not necessarily in the rules. Like this right here, it doesn't exactly explain how that works, so there's a little description here to explain exactly how all that works. First, you'll take the boss mat, set it in the center of the table. You'll then find the boss deck with the same name as the boss. Place it face down by the boss without shuffling. The top card should have a 1 on the back. Look at the top of the boss mat to see its starting health. Place the indicated light and heavy damage tokens near the boss mat. Place the attack die nearby, and whenever the boss attacks, rolling it determines who gets hit based on their level of aggro. If this isn't your first boss fight in an episode, then take out the next undefeated boss in that episode. Now we get on to how to play. One-hit heroes alternates between hero turns and boss turns. On your turn, you'll scout, fight, and then rest. And after that, it's the boss's turn. To scout, you must first reveal a card from the boss deck. The revealed card goes here and shows what the boss will be doing during their turn. This gives you insight on how to prepare and react during your turn. This also shows you the back of the next card in the boss deck, which gives you kind of an idea of what they're going to be doing next. If you'd ever reveal a card and there are none left in the boss deck, you will flip the deck back over without shuffling it, reveal the card that's number 1 again. Once you've flipped up the new card of the boss deck, it's time to fight. For this, you will play up to 3 cards from your hand and use any once per turn effects on your items that you'd like. Other items will indicate when they are to be used. You can mix and match card plays and item abilities in any order. You also want to know about the different types of cards there are, like weapons, actions, items, and the special type reaction. When played, weapons deal damage. When dealing damage, you remove light or heavy tokens from enemies and place them onto your aggro bar. You can tell how much damage a weapon does in the damage box. When played, actions typically have non-damaging effects. They'll help with managing cards and aggro. They have this little running guy symbol here. Item cards go into one of your 2 item slots and remain in play until destroyed. You start your fight with 2 items of your choice in play, and they have this little blue like tech looking like symbol. All items can block hits. Also good to keep in mind that some of them have a once per turn effect, once per turn, that you can use once on your turn. Some of the other ones have passive effects that work at any time. So you just got to read the card and it basically tells you exactly when or how to use it. If any of your items are destroyed, they immediately go into your burn pile. Playing an item into an occupied item space will destroy that item and replace it with your new item. The final type of card is reaction, which has this little green lightning hourglass symbol maybe? These are very special cards, because these do not count towards your 3 cards a turn. Instead, they have specific times when they can be played. It'll say right here, play on ally's turn. You can only play this card during a different hero's turn. Most cards specify a particular part of that turn, like when another hero plays a weapon. Play on boss's turn. You can only play this card during the boss's turn, but you can choose whenever during their turn to use it for optimal effect. Play at any time. You can play this card at any time during the fight, including your own turn, somebody else's turn, whenever. And if you play it on your turn, it does not count towards your 3 cards per turn. Now I move on to the energy. You need to keep in mind that many of your strong effects require you to spend or lose energy. It'll say right there in their actual effect. Some cards might even actually give you energy. If the card says you lose energy, those cards can still be played. Since it doesn't require energy, the card can still be activated. Now if it says you spend energy, however, then you have to spend the energy, like this one says, spend up to 3 energy. So that means you have to do it. Just remember you can only have a max of 3 energy at a time, and you can't regain energy except after a fight or through some kind of card effect. You also want to be careful when dealing damage and gaining aggro. Dealing damage places those matching tokens from your targets into the leftmost slot here on your aggro bar. Losing aggro has you remove said tokens from the rightmost side of your aggro bar. And if you are to take aggro from somebody else, like say you have a hero who has an ability that says take aggro from another hero, you take the aggro from their aggro bar and you're going to put it into your aggro bar. That's how a lot of the tank heroes work. You're always welcome to downgrade heavy damage to light damage whenever you want to or need to. You just can't do the reverse. Like say you want to use this card, but the boss doesn't have any heavy damage left. You can just downgrade it to light damage to at least still do something. Once your aggro bar is full, any tokens you gain are discarded to the token supply. This means you can take aggro from other heroes when you're already at full capacity. That way you're essentially getting rid of the aggro for free. You have full aggro bar. That's how some of the tanks work too. They're really good at gaining at a lot of aggro, and then you can take aggro from your allies. Try to put them in your bar. Oh, my bar is full. I guess I just throw those away then. Also, just a reminder, you want to keep in mind that your aggro level determines how likely you are to get hit. So if you do have a full aggro bar, there's a good chance you're going to get hit. But luckily, the tanks, who are the ones who are really good at having full aggro bars, or have cards that make it so they have full aggro bars, also have a lot of defensive ways to stop it. But you still want to keep an eye on your aggro bar. Examples. These players here will only be hit if the attack die rolls hit. These players only have green aggro, meaning rolls on a hit or green will hit them. This player has green, yellow, and red aggro because of all of those areas that have tokens in them. They will get hit if the attack die rolls hit, green, yellow, or red. They'll also trigger those corresponding colored aggro checks, like on the first boss. A player who has all of the colors filled from green to purple will only be safe if the attack die rolls a miss. Otherwise, they'll trigger every aggro check. They'll get hit by anything and everything. Hopefully you have a lot of ways to block attacks. Rest. Items you play will remain in their item slots until destroyed. Other cards will move either to the discard pile or the burn pile depending on the symbol in the top corner shown here. This is the burn symbol and that is the discard pile symbol. After removing the appropriate cards, you want to draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. If you already have 5, then you don't get to draw anything. Whenever you run out of cards from your draw pile, all you gotta do is you gotta take your discard pile, you're gonna shuffle her up, and make a new draw pile. Since you'll always have the 5 cards in your hand, it might be in your best interest to play the 3 cards during your turn. That way you can get rid of cards you don't really need at that point or that you think that are useless right now. You can try and get something that's in your discard pile or in your deck that you like trying to get to. Time for the boss's turn. First you're going to want to resolve the effect on the boss mat, which is this guy right here, which affects all heroes unless, it doesn't. Because this right here is an aggro check, so if somebody is in the red on their aggro bar, he is going to attack. If not, then he doesn't do anything. He'll just be whatever the card does. So then you're going to do the card. So after you do the boss's effect, you're going to do the card's effect, which see right here is gain 3 aggro. Everybody's going to gain 3 aggro. It affects everyone unless it says something specific that it doesn't. Some cards are split into 2, the bottom half and a top half of different colors. So you're going to do the top half like normal, and then you're going to do the bottom half, which is a aggro check. So you just do it like a normal aggro check. So just kind of like with the first boss, if anybody's at red, then they'll get attacked. But if not, you won't do this at all. You'll just basically do this one like normal and then aggro check. Some boss fights include smaller cards with spaces for tokens. These are minions. When a minion gets revealed, add the indicated number of tokens onto the card. Minions stay in play until defeated when you remove all their tokens. Some minions have boss powers and you need to defeat them to stop their effects. You can damage minions just like bosses, and when you defeat one, it goes back into the episode tray. You can always freely split damage between enemies, as in multiple minions or a minion and a boss if you want. One of the most common effects you'll face from the boss is attack. Whenever this happens, you'll take the damage die, attack die, and you're going to roll it to see whoever gets hit. When rolling a miss, nobody gets hit, and it's the best result you can possibly hope for. The worst result when rolling is the hit. That means all players are hit. Otherwise, there's also a purple, red, yellow, and green side of the die. Whenever you roll one of these, players with tokens on your little aggro bar here in said color will get hit. For example, if you have tokens in the red section here, that means you also have it in the yellow and the green. So anything basically rolled from the color that you have the tokens in and below, you're going to get hit. Just remember, if you get hit, your entire team will lose. However, you can block the hit or play a reaction that saves you in some way. Now, each block effect only prevents one hit from affecting you in that moment, meaning if you need to block multiple hits, you need to have multiple things that block. Your items can block hits against you. Blocking with an item destroys that item, and then it will go to your burn pile. Now, the items can only be used to block hits if they are on your player mat. They don't do anything if they're in your hand or not discard pile, burn pile, and your deck. You can also use reaction cards, which have a variety of effects that can save you. When played, they'll interrupt whatever is happening and use their effect first to save you. Example. If you, say, play this reaction card, you see here, if the attack die is green, yellow, or red, you block for any hero. So you can block for yourself or you can block for somebody else. Now you can mitigate those odds by, managing your aggro. Each color of aggro that you don't have on your board is less of a chance that you're going to get hit. Aside from attack, there are other effects that can be taken against you by the boss. The boss could force you to gain a certain amount of aggro, force you to discard a card into either this card pile or the burn pile. They can even restore their own health, make you lose energy, or even destroy an item in play. If any of your characters get hit because you don't have enough cards to protect yourself, your entire team will lose the fight. If this happens, you will repeat the setup process and try again. You must defeat the bosses in order of the episode before you can move on. When you do defeat a boss by removing all of the light and heavy tokens, you've defeated them. Good job. You move on to the next boss or next episode, depending on wherever you are. Now, each boss has a special wrapped card pack corresponding to them. When you defeat the boss, you can go into the episode box and pull out the pack that corresponds to that boss. And then you can start the drafting. Now, as you can see, this one is unopened because I purposefully did not open it. That way we can all experience the fun together. See, this is the part I'm excited about because I'm like, I want to open it. I want to open it. Once you defeat the boss, you're going to pull this guy out and you're going to open him up. Whoever dealt the final damage to the boss gets to choose the cards from the pack first. From there, players draft cards in clockwise fashion until 2 cards have been drafted to each player. The 2 cards that you draft get shuffled into your deck and remain there until the end of the episode, and remaining cards are put into the Armory section of the game box. Remember, once you draft some items, you can change out the items you have on your player mat with items that you gain from here. So let's open this bad boy up. This is not part of the how to play. This is not scripted. I am just wanting to open this up just to show you the fun and excitement of opening card packs. Ah, look at that. Show you the glory and the pristine beauty of freshly opened cards. They got a bunch of weapons, there's a few action cards, and a couple reactions. Now you'll notice that there are actually no items in the first card pack. Future packs, you know, there's the second boss, third boss, and the other episodes and stuff. There are other items. So each take 2, add it to your deck to make yourself far more powerful. Now we're ready to move on to the next fight. As we previously stated, while you can play the episodes in any order, you must fight the bosses in order from 1st to 4th based on your chosen episode. Whenever you're ready, take out the next boss in the episode tray and put away the previous boss you've defeated. Reset your heroes and set up the new boss. The hero who dealt the finishing blow on the previous boss gets to take the first turn. This process continues until you defeat the last boss and finish the episode. After defeating the episode's last boss, you separate all the cards that you've drafted into your hero's deck. You can tell which cards are drafted and which are part of the starter deck by the little this is the drafted card. This would be your drafted card. Got a little yellow square here in the bottom. This one's got a little like gray silver thing in the corner right here. So gold, drafted, silver, not drafted. So this will go back into your deck and this will go into the armory for the next episode. You don't need to sort these cards. Your first time playing the game has a curated experience. Each time you play after that, you'll be able to draft cards from all different episodes and different bosses in order to give you a unique experience each time you play. If you need to take a break between fights, you can save your progress. Simply place your hero deck and the cards you drafted so far into an open slot in the game box. When packing your episode materials back into their episode box, place the boss mat of your upcoming fight on top of the other materials so you remember who you're fighting next. Now we can get into the armory. The first time you play an episode, you'll open card packs to get your cards, as I demonstrated just a little bit ago. When you complete an episode, you'll remove all the cards from your hero decks that you drafted and shuffle them into the armory part of the box. This is where all the hero decks go, and then right here is where your armory will go. This means that in future playthroughs, you will no longer be limited to the 8 cards you saw the first time you played against that boss. Whenever you replay an episode and defeat a boss, instead of opening its card packs, you'll draw 10 cards at random from the armory. Draft 2 like normal, and then shuffle the rest back into the armory. This way you can discover all kinds of new synergies and combos that you never thought possible. With all the cards from all the different episodes and bosses, you can do some pretty crazy things. Now we move on to difficulty levels. Say you play the game and you actually kind of find it not necessarily too easy, maybe you find it too easy. Maybe you just played it so many times you want to, up the challenge. So they included difficulty levels that you can add into the game to make the game more difficult. There are 5 levels to choose from. Level 1 is the standard difficulty. No additions or changes are made. Level 2 adds 3 light damage bonus health onto the boss mat. Level 3 adds 3 more aggro to your aggro bar on your hero mat. Level 4, add 1 heavy damage to the boss's bonus health pool. Level 5, add 3 light damage bonus health onto the boss mat. You'll need some luck to win at this level. Considering each level you pick includes all the previous level adjustments with it. For an example, if you pick level 3, you'll add the bonus health and start with 3 more aggro. Now, when it comes to the bonus health, you must first remove all of them before removing the boss's standard health, because bonus health cannot be restored. Now, if you need to make things a little easier, if you lose against a boss, you can retry the fight with a little help. Draw 7 cards and discard 2 before beginning the fight. You may pick any hero to go first. If you still need more help, swap up to 2 of your drafted cards with ones from the armory or trade drafted cards with other players. So far, I've had a lot of fun playing one-hit heroes. My favorite hero so far is Cassius, with all of his hand manipulating and discarding cards, and his items let you do things when you discard cards, and then your like energy manipulation for yourself and for others. It's really cool. It's kind of the kind of gameplay I like. But I also did a solo mode with 2 of the tanks together, which was really fun because they're both about gaining a lot of aggro, and they're taking aggro from each other and doing a lot of damage, and they have so many different things to block. It was a really cool, fun combo having double tanks. They're just like, we will not die. Hit us as much as you want. We will never die. If you're looking for more games by Wiggles 3D, you should check out this video that I made all about the 5-minute dungeon. The team is hard on work on future videos, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on them. Until then, hope to see you somewhere.